So the conclusion here then is, from all of this, is that we believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator. It is fitri. It is ingrained within the soul of every single person. To establish Allah's proofs for His existence, it wasn't really the intention of this lecture today. But if we wanted to mention some arguments or some reasoning that is mentioned by Ibn Taymiyyah, he says, for example, Ibn Taymiyyah mentions two verses in the Quran as an example of a bayyinah. And so the first example is, the first verse in the Quran is, أَوَلَمْ يَذْكُرُ الْإِنسَانِ أَنَّا خَلَقْنَاهُ مِنْ قَبْلِ وَلَمْ يَكُ شَيْئًا. Right? So here Ibn Taymiyyah is saying, from this ayah is in Surah Maryam, does man not remember that we created him before whilst he was nothing? Whilst he was nothing. Ibn Taymiyyah says this does not mean that he was created from nothing, because he was created from a nutfa. There was already matter from which he was created from. Adam was created from matter. But what it means here is, what the meaning of this ayah is, that every person knows that he came to be after not existing. Right? This is a bayyinah. This is a bayyinah. No person, no creature, no person can deny that he didn't exist then he came to be. Right? What does this mean? It means that he did not create himself. Right? This is a self-evident truth. You did not bring yourself into existence. Right? Neither did anything else, because the means of its existence is by way of reproduction. Right? So no dog, no animal, no cat, no snail, no nothing. Nothing brought itself into existence, because there was a time when it was nothing, then it came to be. This is the meaning of the ayah. Right? So this is a bayyinah. A bayyinah. No one can deny this. Then he brings the other ayah in Surah Tur, أَمْ خُلِقُوا مِنْ غَيْرِ شَيْءٍ أَمْ هُمُ الْخَالِقُونَ أَمْ خَلَقُوا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ بَلْ لَا يُعْقِنُونَ. Here is a series of questions. In this verse, Allah asks, were they created by nothing? This is the correct interpretation of this verse. The one who says that this verse means were they created from nothing, this is an incorrect interpretation. What it means is, were they created without a creator? This is the meaning of the ayah. Were they created by nothing? Or did they create themselves? Or did they create the heavens and the earth? Rather, they have no certainty. Now, from this, there's a series of questions in this ayah. And we've already established the bayyinah, that you did not create yourself. You know that. Everybody knows that. Right? Then from these verses, there's another bayyinah, which is every human knows that he did not create the universe. Right? Everybody knows that he did not create the universe. And he knows that the universe itself didn't create itself. All of these are bayyinat, right? When you argue with someone, you have to start with the bayyinat. Did you create yourself? You didn't. Did you create the heavens and earth? You didn't. Did the heavens and earth create itself? It didn't. All of these are bayyinat. No one can use any philosophy to argue against these bayyinat. And so therefore, all of these are bayyinat, they are self-evident truths. And likewise, if they want to be clever and they say, well, there's multiverses, doesn't matter how far back you go, the argument still applies, because these multiverses did not create themselves. It's the same principle. Whether you speak of one or whether you speak of a million, the principle is still the same, that nothing creates itself. This is a bayyinah. And so, this knowledge, this reasoning is something that is fitri. Something that everyone can accept. No matter where he is, no matter which century or millennium he's born in. You can say this to someone in the Amazon jungle carrying a spear, and it will make sense to him. Or you can say this to someone 4,000 years ago, it will make sense to him. All of this is bayyinah, it is fitri, it is dururi. And so this means really there are only three possibilities, right? There are only three possibilities, which is nothing created something else. This is the first question in the ayah. Am khuliqu min ghayri shay'in. Were they created by nothing? Nothing created something. Is this possible? Is this possible? So this is out. That's out now, right? Nothing created something. It's out. Or it's possible that something created itself. Is that possible? Aqlan? Is it possible? No. Or something created something else. Is that possible? Yeah? So something has got to have created something else, right? It's the only conclusion. So if we eliminated the first two, right, there's only one, that something created something. Right? Now, so when we put these three possibilities to a person of sound mind, he has to say the third one. Right? He can't say anything else. He can't say, yes, the universe brought itself into existence, like this idiot, Lawrence Krauss. Yeah, this scientist philosopher. Right? Universes they come from nothing. They create themselves. This is just making fools of the minds of the people. That's all it is. Right? So if you put these three scenarios to a person of sound mind, he will say, nothing does not create anything. Can't be that one. Something cannot create itself. It can't be that one. So something must have created something. Right? Now we've got closer to the truth now. Now once we come to this, and we say something created something, then obviously we now come to the two options and two choices, which is that either knowledge, wisdom, qudra, and all these attributes are behind the creation of something, or it is just random, blind, purposeless, directionless, no wisdom, no purpose, no nothing. Right? So if these two scenarios are put to you now, which of the two do you think, from human experience, right? From human experience, from thousands and thousands of years of human experience, when humans have been engaging in technology and building things and whatever else, from the sum of their technological experience, from their industrial experience, which of these two makes sense to you? Right? That a knowing, able, alim, qadir, murid, one who is able to choose and will, that he creates something, or that something just comes to be without ilm, without qudra, without hikmah, without ghaya. Which of the two? Put them to you. Be honest and tell me which of the two really appeals to a person's intelligence more. He has to say this one. He has to say this one. Right? He can't say this one, because then his hawa becomes clear. Because the sum of human experience would render him a liar. Right? And so this is it's as simple as basically saying, and this is the method of Ibn al-Qayyim, rahimahullah ta'ala, in his book Al-Fawa'id, and he establishes like a method, which is basically, we can illustrate it along the following lines, that, if you take this book, this object, for example, first and foremost, the mere fact that this book exists, right, this proves a wujud aini. Wujud aini. Pay attention to this word, right? The fact that this book exists, or in fact, it's even better to use the bottle. The fact that this bottle exists proves with a wujud aini that there is someone out there who is manufacturing this bottle, right? That is something you cannot argue with. Yeah? This is a wujud aini. This is the method of the Quran. And the Quran does not use philosophical proofs, right? Physical, tangible proofs are powerful, simple, right? And they're not long-winded like rational proofs, right? So compare this to, for example, like, if you look at the philosophical proofs, they're all long-winded, right? Things have attributes, and I don't want to go into all that nonsense, to be honest with you. But to illustrate the point, the existence of this bottle indicates wujud aini of the one, or the being, or the company who makes these water bottles, right? That's a given. You can't actually deny that, right? That's you can't deny that. Then from this bottle, from the handiwork, from this maf'ul, you know that there was a fi'l, right? This is maf'ul, and so therefore this indicates a fi'l, an action that came before it. This only came by way of an action, right? This is again a bayyinah. And this came to you by way of an action. If there's an action that produced this, if there was a fi'l, that means there is a fa'il. There is the agent who did the action, right? This is the way that Ibn al-Qayyim establishes that we use the same method when we look in the creation around us. We see everything, we see the maf'ulat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From that we know there was af'al that were made, that were performed. And those af'al, actions in turn, point to the fa'il, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, the point being that if you put to someone, we've eliminated the other two questions. Nothing created something, something created itself, something created something, right? What is that something that's doing the creating? You can only put two scenarios. Either it is the one who is alim, qadir, hakim, murid, or it is something which is nothingness, right? If you put these two scenarios to somebody, he has to say that that which is most agreeable to the intellect is this one. He can't reject that. If he does reject that, there's something wrong with him and he's playing games. Simple as that, right? This, you can't argue with this. There's no argument against this. And then the sum of human experience tells you that everything that we see, from the sun, the moon, the night, the day, the trees, the leaves, the animals, everything created that fits together, all of this is a clear evidence of design, purpose, intent. Only the arrogant person denies this, right? Even these people admit, let me read you the words of this Richard Dawkins, right? Even they know that this is a compelling argument. He says, I think that when you consider the beauty of the world and you wonder how it came to be what it is, you are naturally overwhelmed with a feeling of awe, a feeling of admiration. You almost feel a desire to worship something. I feel this. I recognize other scientists such as Carl Sagan feel this. Einstein felt it. We all of us share a kind of religious reverence for the beauties of the universe, for the complexity of life, for the sheer magnitude of the cosmos, the sheer magnitude of geological time. And it's tempting to translate that feeling of awe and worship into a desire to worship some particular thing, a person, an agent. You want to attribute it to a maker, to a creator. Now what's he just admitted there? Right? Fitra. Yeah? He just admitted that when you look around, like we see the ayah in the Quran, Afillahi shak, Fatiris samawati wal ard. Right? Every soul has this, and he's admitting it right here. That when you look and you see the beauty, the magnitude, everything, it just makes you have such awe that you feel that you want to worship something. You want to translate those feelings into worshipping a maker, a creator. That's the fitrah. Right? But then what is it? It's arrogance. Right? The arrogance comes in. Why? Because you don't like a universe which has an authority over it. You don't like that type of universe. You don't want that type of universe. This is arrogance now. Right? Your fitrah tells you one thing. Right? Your perception tells you one thing that is design. But you want to turn it into an illusion. Right? That's what these people say. It's just illusionary. It's not real. We know that nature did it. Right? It's illusionary. This is just playing word games. Right? So the point being that all of these are bayyinat. These people know it. All they're doing is they are fooling and tricking people with a deception, with what they claim to be certainties. And so we shouldn't fall for any of this, ya ikhwan. There is certainty in the Quran, in the Sunnah, in the bayyinat. Like Allah says in the Quran, that when the messengers came to them, فَرِحُوا بِمَا عِنْدَهُمْ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ. Right? When the messengers came to the people, they rejoiced and exulted in the knowledge that they had. The knowledge, the sciences. So from all of this discussion, we want to round off now, inshallah ta'ala, that in summary we said that the issue of Allah's existence is fitri, it is dururi, it is not something that we need to go into long-winded philosophical proofs, because they are the weakest and the shakest of all of proofs. Rather we stick to the bayyinat, the barahin, the bayyinat, the ayat, and we use the simplest, closest, shortest, concisest of arguments, which are in the Quran. And there are many more things that could be mentioned for shortage of time. There are many